I have a simple point today. How many of you, and I need you to talk back to me today because I want to talk to you today. I don't want to preach at you. I want to talk to you today. How many of you have people in your life that you want to see come to a saving knowledge of Jesus Christ this year? Can I see your hands? Right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to do that. I wished so bad that we could go back to the days where everyone, when you said the word God, thought Jesus next. I wish we could go back to where if we would set up a tent and have a good old revival, unsaved people would come. The truth is, they won't. The truth is, it's just for the reviving of the saints, and that's okay. But how many of you want God to equip you into your purpose so you can effect His kingdom this year? See hands. And what I want to do today, without any fanfare, without any props, because you know how I am about making sure you get the message, I want to take you on a journey, and I want you to go with me into a world that doesn't exist any longer. And I want to teach you about that world. And over the next 3 or 4 weeks, I'm going to show you how to share your faith with people who are diametrically opposed to your faith. How many of you have had people look at you and go, the Bible was a book written by men? Right? How many of you have had people look at you and say that Jesus was just a good man and the Bible was written 100 years after He died? In a new series I'm going to do within the winter, it's going to be, I'm going to teach you, we're going to come in here and you're going to learn where we got our Bible from. Because you cannot base your life upon something you do not have faith in. And here's what's important for today. If you don't learn how to be culturally relevant with your evangelism, you're going to fail. How many of you see the lives of your loved ones who do not know Christ as imperative, of great importance? May I see your hands in here? How many of you get frustrated because you have to end up defending your faith more than you do explaining your faith for bad people who live bad Christian lives? It's very complex. So here's what I want you to do. Matthew chapter 28, and we're going to go on a journey today. Matthew chapter 28, verse 16. But the 11 disciples proceeded to Galilee to the mountain. Now stop right there. That is the saddest scripture in the whole Bible to me, because there should have been 12. One of them didn't make it to the mountaintop. And he quit just right before God came through. He gave up on God, and here's the word, look at this, to the mountain which Jesus had designated. Do you think that it is possible that God has designated a mountaintop experience for you that you may miss because you give up too soon? When they saw Him, they worshiped Him. And here's one of my favorite scriptures. Look at this one, guys. But some were doubtful. I don't know about you, but I'm uncomfortable with these religious people that act like they never have any doubts. And always have God kind of wrapped up like a Christmas package. And just go through their life, and it's just like all they ever do is like they never have any problems. Well, that's not my life. How many of you, it's not your life? How many of you have went through things in your life and tough times in your life and you said, where in the heck is God? Let me see your hands. Listen, I want to tell you as your shepherd, who is certainly rooted and grounded in Christology and believes that Jesus is the Son of God and is alive today, that is a healthy place to be some days. What is not healthy is to be sucked in by the culture and only believe one side. Now, I want to show you something, and I'm going to give you a test. And here's the test, and I'll give you the question after I give you the answer. If you were to go through this culture, I want you to understand something. This is a business book in universities that teaches ethics for business leaders. All right? It's a business book for people who, and this is a business book. Right here is a business book. And this is what they teach the president of Enron. Here's another business book. And listen to what it says, okay? The approach advocated in this book is that decision-making in business should involve an integration of 3 points: the economic, the and the moral. Now, did you get what I just told you? Do you want to know why our government had to bail out bankers? Do you want to know why Enron stole millions of people's retirements? Because somewhere in this world today in 2010, there is a professor holding up this book and teaching students that ethics, right and wrong. Let me ask you a question. Maybe I'm in the wrong place. How many of you believe there's a right and there's a wrong? Can I see your hands? All right. Most of the world doesn't believe that. If you don't get anything else today, I want you to understand that. Most of the world does not believe there's a right and a wrong. They believe that things are, here we go, things are subjective. In other words, if I'm an Islamic fundamentalist and my religion teaches me that to usher in the Mahdi, which is the Christian version of the Messiah, I can cause chaos within the world, specifically the Middle East, and I can usher in the Mahdi through jihad, declaring war. That's subjective, that he believes those things because that's his belief. It's subjective. Or there's people who say it's okay to lie as long as I don't hurt anyone. All right? Here's what's the problem. The problem is this book teaches college business people that if the best thing for the money, the economics of your business is to lie, it's okay to lie, maybe. And then it turns around and says that if it's going to affect the company legally and you're supposed to show your spreadsheets to Wall Street and be honest about the investment so the investors will know that you're a truthful company, that it's okay to lie sometimes. And then over here, it just kind of puts the word morality. How many of you believe that's wrong? I really want to know. How many believe that's wrong? That a lie is a lie. And you should be truthful. Well, here's another thing. This book is used in universities, and this book right here is how people choose values. Let me ask you something. How many of you value family? How many of you value truth? How many of you value God's having a personal God named Jesus Christ in your life? Let me see your hands. You know what this book says? And catch the words. Watch this. This book teaches people that, along with Nastoski, who is a very evil man in many ways, but he's also a highly intellectual person, had some good thoughts. With Karl Marx, do you get that one? In socialism, values were also held as an illusion. Since while people tend to think the values they believe are objectively grounded, they're not. You know what that just means? It means that, let me ask you again, how many of you believe that you should value mom and dad and a home and value children and value family? Let me see your hands. They say that the only reason you value those things is because you were taught that and it's subjective to where you were raised and where you lived at. I'm telling you that in Madisonville, we're living in a world, and here's the word you need to write down. We're living in a world that is subjective and that is full of pluralism, which means there's many gods. I can take you and show you a Jehovah's Witness church, a Mormon church. Many precious people attend those churches. I can take you and show you that in Madisonville, there are Hindus, there are Buddhists, that we are in Madisonville living in a pluralistic society, that it's no longer one nation under God. God is not God theos in the Greek. He is the God that is subjective and the God that is plural, and it could be any God. How many of you believe there's only one way to God? Let me see your hands.